So as somebody who is getting set to get back from vacation, I'm paying attention to what's going on with Southwest Airlines. And I know a lot of people are because you're either trying to get back, maybe you know people who are trying to get back, or you're just watching with stunned that there are these thousands of flights being canceled still by Southwest Airlines. Pete Buttigieg, he's the transportation secretary, he's calling for accountability. Are they not being accountable? Does it matter what the transportation secretary says? Were they unprepared for the flights, or did this weather that has left tens of people dead, by the way? I thought the number was in the 30s. The number is getting close to 50 people. Is this storm the thing to blame? Who's at fault here? Guys, welcome to the show. Good to be with you. Presented by Americans for Prosperity, americansforprosperity.org, economic liberty, free speech. These are my things, people. Vacation's been good. But I mean, I'm still working. I brought the whole rig with me. The only thing I don't have is a cigar on me, but don't worry, I will get to those because you know who I am. I'm always bothered when I hear Pete Buttigieg decide that he's going to say things like call for accountability or call roads racist for that matter. In this call for accountability, he's answering questions of Judy Woodruff and talking about how he spoke to the CEO of Southwest Airlines. The flight attendants and pilots describing to him outdated systems so the airline is unable to track where many of its crews are. And that's not an acceptable state of affairs when you're trying to recover operations. There is something to be said for the amount of money that airlines get as bailouts and whether or not we should be allowed to say to these airlines, we demand much, a hell of a lot more from you. Because I think we do. I think we do demand a lot from them if they're going to keep taking our money in bailout after bailout after bailout after bailout. It seems that the airline industry can't actually survive without it. I think it seems that way to most everybody. What's interesting is that Southwest was always the darling, right? Southwest was the airline you looked up to, fast and efficient, and get you on the plane, get you off the plane, get you back on the plane. And now all of a sudden they're the ones who they're the gang that couldn't shoot straight. Maybe indeed they have outdated systems. Are the outdated systems the reason for thousands upon thousands of flight cancellations? Or can we go back to COVID? The idea that pilots got this opportunity, or was it laid off, or they got the opportunity to engage retirements. They took the retirements and they don't want back in. I keep hearing that story again and again and again. If you're a pilot, I'd love to hear from you. Tony@TonyKatz.com. Let me know. Is that legit or is that not legit? I would love to know if that's the case, because if it is, man, that'd be wonderful to hear. It'd be wonderful to hear what it is that's actually causing the issue. There's the email right there. You can just send me an email. It'd be fantastic. But what accountability does Pete Buttigieg think he can get here? Why is it the transportation secretary is always talking but never doing? I, all these years later, still have supply chain issues. You do too, by the way. Nonstop supply chain issues. What has the transportation secretary done about the diesel issues in the United States of America? Diesel, the way the trucks run to get us our goods, go from point A to point B. Food being more expensive is absolutely part of the conversation here when you talk about the trucking costs of getting things from point A to point B. What has the transportation secretary done about that? But he's always right there at a microphone, right there at the quick to say accountability. And we have to do this, and we're going to do this. And we've been working, and Joe Biden has taken historic steps. Stop with the damn historic. Not everything is freaking historic. Just do the job. Is it Pete Buttigieg's job to make sure that the planes run on time? It's an interesting conversation. Because let's argue that it is. What is he supposed to do? I honestly cannot tell you what it is the transportation secretary is supposed to do to ensure. See, that's a plane going overhead right now, but those are private planes. See the difference? People can afford those, and they're flying all day here. What's he supposed to do? Threaten? Is he going to tell these airlines they can't be in business? More government intervention, more government regulation. Is that going to make the planes run on time? By the way, planes run on time is way too close to trains run on time. And just from that alone, you're like, wait a second, I've heard that before. That's right, it was Mussolini. Oh, I don't know if he said it yet, but I swear to you, if Pete Buttigieg gets to a planes run on time conversation, run for the mother freaking hills. This was another part of this story. This was from the people over at News Nation about how they've canceled more flights for Tuesday and Wednesday. Follow these numbers. These numbers are absolutely, positively fascinating. Here it is. They removed 2,500 flights for Wednesday and have already removed 1,200 flights for Thursday. Now, I'm not flying home on Southwest. That said, should I be concerned? But that's interesting. They are already getting rid of thousands of flights. The storm impacting Wednesday and Thursday? By the way, over there, FlightAware, the Southwest cancellations accounted for more than 80% of the 3,000 trips that got canceled nationwide. 70% of Monday's flight cancellation, that according to the Associated Press. Okay, we can clearly agree that Pete Buttigieg has no power here. He's only searching for a microphone to sound like a big shot here. There is nothing that I think government can do in this regard. There's only something that the market can do in this regard, and that's say, sorry, Southwest, we're not flying your airline anymore. We don't trust you. I don't want to be mad at Southwest Airlines. I'm just discussing a rational fact. We don't trust the airline, and the market should be the ones that respond to it. They've canceled already over 3,000 flights for Wednesday and Thursday, 3,700 flights, whatever it is. They canceled. They're 80% of the flights that got canceled over the weekend. Well, maybe over the weekend you can forgive it. 3,000 flights Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday. Not Monday, Tuesday, not Tuesday and Wednesday, Wednesday and Thursday. I think that requires a market response. And that market response is, we're done here. Hey, Spirit Airlines. Hey, Allegiant Airlines. Hey, this, hey, that, hey, the other. Let's go try them out. Shouldn't the market be the one that responds by saying, we're not going to fly? We're not going to do it? Now, I had brought up COVID and the pilots because there really does need to be a deep dive done into what exactly we as a society did to the airline industry. And I get what you're saying. Don't look at me. Don't make me part of the we. It was them. It was they. It was government. It was others. And I will agree with you every step of the way. It was them. It was the others. It was government every step of the way. What did they do to damage the industry? And why are we still feeling the effects? And how does anybody fix that? And we need more pilots. What are we doing to get them? We need more airline mechanics. What are we doing to get them? We need more flight attendants, etc. By the way, not only that, another plane going over. We need more nurses. That's another subject for another day. What are we going to do to actually get them? This is the question in front of us. Now, I think that there are actually some market ways to do this, but I had made an argument. This was, well, I've always made this argument, so it's not anything new, but I made the argument at the start of COVID and realizing that China was not honest about what was happening, about how things originated, about things going on in the nation. They lied, they continue to lie, and of course, Fauci covered for them and this EcoHealth Alliance connection. We should take, I made this argument then, we should take the debt owed to China and say, you know what, it's paid. You can't default on debt. No, I'm not defaulting on debt. Who said the debt had to be paid dollar for dollar? You steal technology, you steal intellectual property, you unleash a virus. Or maybe I shouldn't say unleash a virus. What if I said what they did was have a virus, told no one, allowed it to be spread, and still told no one, and won't help in any investigation to find out how it started so we can ensure these things don't happen anymore? What if we just decide that those three things, they didn't unleash a virus. See how I do that, lawyers? They, however, hid information. And we take a look at that. We take a look at the theft of intellectual property, and we take a look at the theft of trade secrets and the actual theft of product. And we say, you know what? The debt's paid. Now we take that money that we supposedly owe China that we've now clearly paid off because they stole it or covered it up to get it back. and we pay off the debt of nurses across the country? Or what if we utilize that dollar to make sure that more nurses could become nurses, more people could become nurses by reducing that debt? Now, you could say to me, Tony, that you go to nursing school. It's not a very capitalist way to think about things. I'm not 100% sure about that, because nurses are, as I see it, a national security issue. And that is something that the nation should be paying attention to. What if we said, all right, half for nurses, half for pilots? Am I off base? Am I just completely disconnected? Or am I engaging in a solution that could indeed work, but doesn't necessarily, when I'm talking about the pilots, deal with the problem of specifically Southwest and what the hell is happening here? The one thing I do know is that Pete Buttigieg going out there and this, he wants accountability. That's just a bunch of garbage. Doesn't matter what the man says. Doesn't matter that he gets in front of a microphone. Of course it doesn't. It doesn't now, and it won't tomorrow. Pete Buttigieg is only interested in the soundbite. Soundbites that he thinks will make him strong when he runs for president in 2024. What? He's not running for president in 2024? Yeah, of course he is. Of course he's running for president in 2024. Let me go to the comments here. Will unvaccinated pilots be brought back, or have they? That's a good question. I don't know what the story is there regarding pilots and pilot unions and the airlines. But if we were to argue that this was about pilots all over, why aren't we seeing the problem all over? Why is this problem very, very specific to Southwest? Of course, yes, I was addressing the larger problem of pilots, which could be part of their problem, but we're seeing this as a Southwest problem. So I'm not 100% sure it is about vaccination in toto, but it's a good question. Southwest tried to get customers to cancel their flights. What do you mean they tried to get them to cancel their flights? How do you try and get someone to cancel the flight? No, I'm serious. Like, did they say, hey, you shouldn't fly now? Did they actually reach out to people via text or the app or whatever it is and be like, hey, you shouldn't go on a flight today? I'm not even sure how one would do that personally. When Indiana had cleared major roads throughout the state, South Bend and St. Joseph County were still crap. So, of course, Pete Buttigieg was the mayor of South Bend, Indiana, and he was a bad mayor. By every accounting, he was a very, very bad mayor of South Bend. He's taking care of his baby. Hey, listen, lots of people are taking care of their babies, and they still go to work and do the job. The question here is, what do we think he should be doing? If we had a standoff with unions and there was negotiation, well, then there are things we could say that Pete Buttigieg should be doing. You demand accountability? What the hell what does that even mean? It's just empty nonsense garbage and nothing more and nothing less. That's all it is. It's ridiculous. Southwest is the company the government can pick on right now. Down the road, it could be another airline. Now, that's true. Look at what Biden has done regarding oil companies. And I lost my light. Oh, is that creepy or what? See, this is what happens during vacation. You don't have your studio. Anyway, guys, I guess I got to run. I'm a man out of light. That's all there is to it. I appreciate you, and I appreciate Americans for Prosperity. AmericansForProsperity.org. Remind me I got to buy a new light. Man, that should have held much, much, much more power. I appreciate you guys. We'll talk more about this, and I'll catch you on a video tomorrow.